Good evening, sports fans. I am back again this evening. And as you see, I got my little bro with me. He's here dressed in his Oregon Ducks giddy up, man. He's feeling good. We got the playoffs approaching, and we just decided to come in. I want to get his thoughts on a lot that's going on with the college playoff, the outlook, to name a few, and as well as these Ducks. You see him with his jersey on, he's smiling, feeling good in the undefeated season. So
13-0,
it's good to have you
light
in here,
work.
bro.
Yeah,
It's good to have you, man.
you already know, man.
Appreciate you joining
Glad to
this
be
evening.
here, man. How y'all doing out there? First time to the show. This little bro, Carter, Duck, Lieutenant Dan, we trust. If y'all ain't know, that's what us Ducks fans call him, Lieutenant Dan. Not to be mistaken with Forrest Gump's captain. You hear me?
So it's been a lot of talk, about the playoff, about your Ducks. And first off, I just want to thank you for, coming and
Yes.
just getting this together for me this evening. And the first game, talking these playoffs, you gave me a thought, man, and a lot of people don't got this one out there. We got that Clemson Texas game coming up.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on this game?
I think Texas is losing. That's upset number one. It is crazy. It is mind blowing. I know. I can't believe I'm going with it neither. My reasoning is simply, besides the fact that Texas can't run the football, it's not like Clemson has an outstanding defense or anything. It's just I'm trusting Dabo right now. I believe Clemson is playing with house money. They got a huge chance to make a statement. Nobody's going to give them this win. I don't believe that Texas will look down to the opponent because it is the playoffs, but I do believe Texas will look down to the opponent, and really this is a game where Texas should thrive. Like Clemson's nobody. Texas beats up on nobody. They've been doing it all season, but I just feel like I don't know. It's just a feeling. The stats don't back it up. Clemson's offense is atrocious. You know what I mean? Nothing says Clemson's going to win this game, and that's why I got Clemson.
Well, for us and the guys, I'm big on Texas. WTP Sports dudes, he knows how I feel about Texas, and for me, I got them Longhorns. I got them going. I know Dabo and what he's doing with this portal. Well, not doing with the portal. Let me get that right.
Yeah.
And what Texas has been doing with the portal. And the things that I see being a difference maker, Texas has gotten healthy, which allows them to run the ball.
Yeah.
And for me, I love that defense, that safety bear.
So you feel like their running attack is not going to be MIA this game?
I feel like it's going to be a problem for Clemson.
I feel like if any game it was to show up, it should be this one. Like if I'm being honest, let me like give you some real thought. Texas should win this game easily. Like it shouldn't be a competition. They shouldn't trail. They should win this game start to finish. They're better. They got better players at every position. They're just better. Offense, defense, special teams. They're just better than Clemson, But I'm just not picking them. I'm sorry. In my heart of hearts, I don't feel like Texas is as good as advertised. Don't kill me. I'm not saying they're not a good team. They're not a great team. I just don't feel like they're as good as the hype.
And we do have, a big Texas fan base. And shout out to those who are in the fan base. And I know you're hearing some things and you may be disturbed. But, it's the college football playoff. So some things we do understand. Some teams, and picking teams, it may be different when it comes to the college playoff. So I understand your pick. Nothing against it. I'm sticking with Texas.
And I respect.
And I'm big on Texas. Like I said, my grandma from the Amarillo. That's where she was born. So I kind of like those roots of Texas. And I think Dabo, you got to go hit that portal after this first playoff.
He definitely do. I don't know what Dabo thinking with not doing a portal. It's not like you're bringing in the top 3 recruiting classes year in and year out, because that's what you got to do if you're not going to hit the portal. And even if you are bringing in top 3 recruiting classes, you see what the portal is doing for teams where they're able to get veteran players at key positions. Right. We're not asking you to go and do what Dion did and bring his Louis to Colorado, you know what I mean, and bring in basically 50 players and create a whole new team. Nah, just plug and place. Plug and place. You know what I mean? Fill some spots.
So for the next one we got coming up, the Ohio State Buckeyes. City League TV, Zaya Zen Master, big fans. Whole family, big fans of the Buckeyes. You know, they got the volunteers coming in. I don't know if they're going to be volunteering to jump, you know, into this game or what's the news, but you know, I'm gonna just keep this pick to myself until we do our show this weekend, because I'm gonna let little bro have his thoughts on this pick, and I'm gonna just look and say that this is a banger, as we say here at Level Up Sports 10 and WTP Sports News. What's your thoughts on this one?
First and foremost, who you got winning a uniform competition in this game? Because it looked like Ohio State going all red, and if I'm not mistaken, Tennessee going all black. I don't even know who to pick in a uniform matchup.
I didn't check that one.
But yeah, the AD for Ohio State said he don't even want gray sleeves. They want all red, all scarlet.
Well, that's gonna be a sight to see, and I might have to check out a couple of pics of these uniforms. But I know Tennessee's all black.
Yes.
With the orange,
with the little
around the numbers, with the little specks of gray, the little shoulder gray.
That's nasty.
We can go ahead and get into this pick. The Jersey game, I'm gonna leave that to your boys, and we'll get to them soon enough. So what you thinking on this?
So my thoughts on this game: Ohio State definitely cannot have an emotional letdown. They definitely can't, and this is the type of game where you could. But the way they're not going to is because you got a bunch of time off. You know what I mean? You had 3 weeks to get your team together. Hey, the Michigan loss, it happened. Let's get it out of our mind. We in the college football playoffs. We at home. We got another opponent. Let's go. The problem that I see Ohio State having is the problem they've been having all year. For some reason, I don't know why, but maybe it's the O-line, maybe it's not, maybe it's the play calling. I'm not sure what it is, but they haven't been able to run the football successfully. And Tennessee has a monstrous front seven that's going to make this game difficult for Ohio State, especially if they can't run the ball, and they really haven't pushed the ball downfield at all. You got Will Howard out there looking like Chad Pennington. He don't like to throw it over 30 yards. You know what I mean? And it's going to play in Tennessee's favor, because Tennessee, while on the other hand, they love to run the football, and they've been successful at it. What's his name? Sampson in the backfield. And people have been having field days chewing up yards on Ohio State and their front seven, which their front seven on paper, their defense on paper, before the season started, my prediction was Ohio State runaway number 1 defense, and it wasn't close. But everybody know the game is not played on paper, and that wasn't the case. I just feel like the weather is going to play a huge factor in this game. Cold, wet, snowy, depending on what it is. If it's like we talked about earlier, anywhere from that 35 to 40 range or under there, not over, which is not definitely not going to be over 50. But if it's cold, wet, sluggish, that's going to play right into Tennessee's favor, because that's what they want to do. They want to run the football, and they want to get physical up front. And Ohio State hasn't been able to run the football.
So it seems
push it downfield.
So it seems like you got Tennessee winning this game.
I got Tennessee winning this game.
So first game,
I like Ohio State.
You got Clemson,
but I got Tennessee winning this game.
So right now you got the 2 underdogs in the first 2 games in Clemson and Tennessee.
But some could say Tennessee's not an underdog.
Well, based on number 9.
Yeah.
Might as well call them an underdog.
Yeah, true.
I think to the world, Tennessee is the underdog when you kind of come into the horseshoe at the Ohio State University and playing a playoff game. So I think with that being said, we just going to say Tennessee is an underdog.
Yeah, Tennessee's an underdog.
I don't think it's no way.
I got them winning. And besides the fact that it's a home game for Ohio State, it's the only advantage Ohio State has is they will right now, to me, is they will have more fans than Tennessee has. You know what I mean? But if I was Ohio State, I would have rather this been in Tennessee. Well, maybe not because the weather would be just as bad there, if not worse. Irregardless, this is just a bad matchup. I'd have just rather somebody else because as the way the Ohio State offensive line is constructed right now, and they've just been MacGyver in their way to put people in and tinker here and tinker there. It's just it's good, but it's not good. You know what I mean? I give them credit because they've managed it, but at some point it's going to get blown up. And with the weather and Tennessee's front seven, I think this is the day. I would love a rematch with Ohio State, but I think Tennessee takes it.
And with that being said, we see what the picks are so far on the little bro side. Some of mine, only one you see is Texas. I'm not going to give you all my picks. You know, I'm Lee Corso. I could switch it up during a week. I could make you think that I'm going to pick someone, and I pick totally opposite, which leads me to this next pick. And this is a pick I'm going to give you for my sake because I didn't pick them the week before. Like I said, I'm on my Corso thing at times. You got the SMU Mustangs against the Penn State Nittany Lions. I'm going SMU Mustangs. I'm staying ACC. What's your thoughts on this one?
Now, I can't lie. You definitely got me lingering and got me thinking about some things with Penn State. Now, while on one hand, that Big Ten championship could be emotional letdown from Penn State, but I don't think it was because honestly, that game was never in reach for Penn State. The score don't tell you how far away that game was. Oregon really had it in lock from start to finish. Not just saying that because that's my team, just saying the game was really never in reach. So it's hard to kind of have an emotional letdown in a game where it was decided early that you wasn't going to win this game. But they fought, so I give them that. But Penn State is kind of like a funny team. Like they're always right there, but it's not close enough. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take Penn State or SMU. I think I'm going to go chalk on this one just because and say Penn State gets the dub, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost.
I think two teams with great defense, two teams with, I'm not going to say mediocre offense that can pop. So I say we see a lot of points, but I'm taking SMU and a banger. Even though Penn State's defense is great, I just feel SMU's offense is going to get loose in a different way. And the next one we got coming up, little brother's team, your big brother's team, they've been balling. And a lot of people don't have them getting past this first round. A lot of people don't have them even looking at the next round or getting past that one. But we got Notre Dame going against Indiana, the battle of Indiana itself, and they'll be at South Bend. What is your thoughts on this?
Touchdown, Jesus?
I'm going Notre Dame. I've been saying Notre Dame for a few weeks. I like their defense. And if their defense come out hot, this could get ugly fast.
Another one of my bold predictions before the season. At this point, Notre Dame undefeated because their schedule was favorable. I felt like if Notre Dame beat Texas A&M that first week, their schedule was favored for them to be undefeated come towards the end of the season. So they had their couple big games. I think it was Army, and they just happened to lose to Northern Illinois. Indiana, while they're in there and they was at the top, I give you credit for what y'all have done as a team. I feel like it's great. You guys almost had an undefeated season. But let's be real. Without the name of the Big Ten Conference, you wouldn't have been in the top 10. You're not that great of a team. It showed versus Ohio State. It's going to show again versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame wins easily. Sorry.
So we got Clemson versus Tennessee, and we got SMU versus Notre Dame. I'm sorry, Clemson versus Arizona State. Then we got Tennessee at Oregon. You got SMU.
Well, basically at Oregon. We're at Rose Bowl.
Boise State. Then you got Notre Dame at Georgia. Pretty tough games. We'll come back to those in a later setting, in a later session.
Yes.
But let's get to the reason we in this stream. We in this stream for a lot of reasons, and it's a lot of questions when it comes to your Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
My question would be, your Oregon Ducks sitting at the top of the mountain, college playoff is looming. How do you feel about your Oregon Ducks being not just the number one seed, but being a possible championship team? What's your thoughts on these here Oregon Ducks, bro? What is your thoughts?
I feel great because I can honestly look out there and not, please do not take this the wrong way. Listen to me carefully. I can honestly look at another team. There's nobody out there that I say, if we played our A game, you know what I mean, we lose. Like, I don't feel like there's a team out there that can beat us at our best, like just flat out beat us. I feel like we're either here or we're here. You know what I mean? We're more than them. There's nobody out there that I'm scared of, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like with us playing our A game, that nobody can beat us. Not saying that we don't lose or anything. I just feel like if we're on our, you know what I mean, thing, even with our B game, and we have many different ways to win, that's another reason why I feel like that. If the passing game is not there, we got Jordan James and Noah Whittington in the backfield, they're getting it done. Or like against Wisconsin, if we got injuries and they're banged up, you know what I mean? Our defense is getting it done.
So
special teams against Boise State when we needed them. We got a punt return and a kickoff return. Like, there's many different ways where we can attack you and get the job done.
With Oregon being undefeated now, this is, I think, about almost 2 months sitting at number one, correct?
Yeah.
About 2 months. So in previous years, Oregon teams that we've seen, they come into a game up at around the time that they played Ohio State. And when they would come into a game like that, they would play, but they would lose. This is just going off the history.
Well, it wouldn't even be that game.
Hold on. Being where they at, undefeated, not lost. It's times when Oregon has lost a game like that, and their seasons went a total different way. What is the difference between this Oregon team and Oregon teams of the past?
Dan Lanning. And it wouldn't even have been a game like the Ohio State game. It would have been a game like the Purdue game, to where a game that we're supposed to win. We would always lose games that we're supposed to win. So it would have been a game like that, not necessarily the Ohio State game. The difference, though, is Dan Lanning, you know, and what he brings to Oregon. It's Oregon versus Oregon. It's not Oregon versus Penn State. It's not Oregon versus Ohio State. It's Oregon versus Oregon. As long as we go out there and we execute what we're supposed to execute, then we're happy with the results because we know we did our job. Dan Lanning has got those boys playing outstanding football, and he bases it off of execution. Winning football doesn't change. It looks the same.
So is there anything that, before we get out of here, we're going to make it short, but I want to ask you this one question for you to tell the fans, because some fans has asked us these same questions. What is it that you want to tell them leading into this playoffs that makes you feel that not only they're a different team, as you just spoke on, different coach, but can they win this championship? What's your thoughts?
Because we're looking at it different. A lot of people are out there talking about, oh, Oregon got the toughest road and blah, 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 and they shouldn't have to do this. They should do reseeding. The way I look at it, we ain't got to play Georgia, Ohio State, Texas. They got to play us.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. My little brother's an Oregon fan, die hard. He said what he said, and we're gonna definitely jump back into this and have a little more talk as we step off at Clemson versus Arizona State, Tennessee at his Oregon Ducks. It's a toss-up between that SMU Penn State game for him at Boise, and he have Notre Dame facing those Georgia Bulldogs. And with that being said, it's Level Up Sports 10. I appreciate you all joining and coming in as we came and gave you just a smidgen of a joke dose of what's to come in these playoffs and thoughts on what my brother is talking about his Oregon Ducks. So with that being said, anything else you want to say to the people?
Go Ducks.
You heard it here first. And as we always say, peace. We out. All love. Appreciate y'all, man. Lock in and loaded. Level Up Sports 10. We out.